So as you can imagine, in this tech channel that I have, I review a lot of different gadgets and tech products. And after a while, there are not a whole lot of products that would get me excited. And every now and then you come across one that will give you that feeling again, because it's something so innovative and different that you don't see and use every day. And this is what this video is about. This is the BP Doctor Pro. It's a smartwatch that actually actively measures your blood pressure on demand with good battery life. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to watch the whole video and you want to know whether I recommend this or not, the answer is yes, I do recommend it for what it does and how much it costs, especially with its battery life. But if you want to understand why and get a full list of pros and cons, continue watching the video. Like I said, the video can be a little bit on the longer side, so if you want to skip around, timeline down below. And as always, if you want to support me, don't forget to give this video a like, because it takes a long time to put these videos together. For example, I've been wearing this for a little over a week to try to test this and give you my final conclusion. And by the way, my name is Sean. This is my tech channel where I do unboxing reviews and tutorials of different tech stuff like this. So if you think you enjoy content like these, please consider subscribing. And when you hit the bell notification, don't forget to change that to all, because that's the only way you'll be notified for all my future videos. So I'm gonna review all the specs real quickly so we can get that out of the way, and I'm gonna tell you about my testing of this watch for the past week or so. So obviously the highlight of this BP Doctor Pro is the miniature pump and air valve. The material is stainless steel. The screen is a 1.4-inch AMOLED, 320 by 360 pixels. It weighs about 82 grams, or I believe about 0.17 or 18 pounds. Bluetooth 4.0, does not have any GPS or Wi-Fi chip inside. You only connect it through the companion app, and that's how you would use this. There's no official IP rating, but from what I've been told, it should be equivalent to IPX6, so you could easily work out with this. It's sweat resistance and splash resistance. The battery is 170 milliamp. It offers fast charge with the clip-on charger, and it only takes 80 minutes to charge the battery fully. And depending on how you use it, it can last up to 5 days, which I can validate it. I will tell you about my testing in a little bit. You also get over-the-air updates. So if there is any update for the watch, you're able to get that updated. Let's check out the blood pressure monitoring. So it's pretty straightforward. When it will come up, you would just hit the start button, and it will tell you to have your arm same as your heart level. So I have it on the desk. Obviously, I shouldn't be talking because it's going to impact it, but I want to describe what's going on right now. So I hear a very, very subtle hum, and that's the pump that is flowing the air into the watch band right now. And the band is getting tighter and tighter around my wrist because it's being inflated. And then the watch is obviously doing its thing, trying to measure. So it says, please relax your arm. So it actually noticed I was moving around a lot. Check out the band. Isn't this awesome? Look at that. So the pump is actually flowing the air into the band, and then it does its thing to be able to measure the blood pressure. Out of all the features, obviously this is the most unique one. So what I wanted to do, be able to measure its accuracy against some other machines, such as this one. And when I put it head to head, it is pretty darn accurate. So from what I understand, I'm not a medical expert. I found it to be as accurate as some of these devices that you have to put it on your arm. So pretty excited about this feature. Some of the other stuff we have, blood oxygen, and this thing seems pretty accurate. Heart rate, pretty straightforward. It just simply measures your heart rate. It tells you your highs and lows. Workout. So I tested this. So it has 3 options. You can do outdoor walking, indoor running, and outdoor running. I found it to be not as accurate as the Apple Watch. Nonetheless, it's there. It will give you some guidance. You can set goals and things like that. The alarm, pretty straightforward. Calories, pretty straightforward. Similar ring options, so you can do workout, walk. And sleep feature. So this was actually pretty accurate and really nice. And I'll show you in the app as well in a moment. You don't really need to do anything. When you just go to sleep, it knows that you're sleeping and starts measuring your sleep quality, deep sleep, light sleep, and when you're awake. And finally, again, I will show this in the weather app is actually pretty cool. And finally, the HRV, heart rate variability. It typically is measured during sleep because heart does not have a perfect sine rhythm, and there are slight variation between each rhythm. And that actually means something. That variability means something, and to some extent is normal, and outside of that is not. And I want to show you in the app and tell you a little bit more. Let's look at some of the settings options. In the display, you can change the screen timeout from 5 seconds to 20 seconds. You can change the brightness. You have the always on feature. And raise to wake. And you can change the watch face. So I will tell you, always on, it destroyed the battery life. When I had it on, it barely lasted half a day. But with none of these 2 features toggled on, which is typically how I rock the watch, I would, if I'm not very active because I work from home, I would use about 10% of the battery life. On a day that I'm extremely active, I use a little over 15%. So the claim that this battery would last 5 days if you actively are using it, it is very, very accurate. So you have different watch faces. The app offers you a few more that you can download, but the selection is not the greatest, be honest with you. You have maybe 9 or 12 different watch faces you can choose from. You can set up alerts. If you have like sleep apnea, it would alert you. So hopefully you guys can see this. But first, when you come in, you will see your main dashboard, your BP, oxygen level, heart rate, HRV, weight, workout, steps, calories burned, and sleep. If you go to your heart rate, you can kind of like daily monitor how your average heart rate has been. Same thing with blood pressure. So it does not do it automatically. You have to trigger it to measure your blood pressure. But when you do it, it will capture it right here. It tells you what stage that is. So I'm 129/85. It describes that as stage 1, just above the normal level. So the HRV, this is pretty cool. Heart rate index or heart rate variability. It has a Lorentz scatter diagram, and then depending on the shape you get, how much your heart rate and your sine rhythm varies, it kind of like makes some of these different shapes. And once you find out which ones yours is closest to, like mine's, it seems like a rocket a little bit. That's the one closest to that. And ironically, it says commonly found in people with snoring and apnea condition. And my wife can confirm I definitely do snore a lot. And then the steps, calories burned, and sleep. Again, pretty cool. It breaks down the light sleep and deep sleep for you, and it rates your sleep quality. Oh, and finally, these are the 9 different options you have for the watch faces. So welcome back. Time for a final conclusion, starting with the list of cons. Number 1 is notification. For me, a smartwatch needs to be some sort of a connection between you and your phone, so you don't have to constantly look at your phone to get things done. Now, granted, this has a more of like a health focus, so that's not its primary focus, but I wish it would offer a richer notification experience. Second thing has to be tap to wake. Your hand, it could be resting on a table and just want to see what time it is. You don't want to do this like weird movement if your arm is already there. And so I do use my tap to wake feature a lot on my Apple Watch, and this does not have that. So you either have to have it off and then you have to tap a button to turn it on, or raise to wake, which works okay, or always on, and always on drained the heck out of the battery. So my biggest I wish is having a tap to wake feature. And then in the workout app, the distance that this watch was showing, it seemed a little bit longer than the actual distance, but for a casual user it's fine, but just know that the distance is not very accurate. And finally, for me, is the color. I don't like this much chrome on my wrist. Granted, when I was out, I got a lot of compliments from quite a few folks as I was testing this. They didn't even know what this was or what I was doing with it. But nonetheless, I wish they had different either band colors or face options or housing options so you could match it based on your style. With that out of the way, let me remind you the things that really impressed me. First, let's talk about the battery life and charging. It lasted forever when I did not have the raise to wake or always on feature activated. And on top of that, the fast charging it has. You just clip on into the provided charger that they have, and I forgot the number, maybe in like 80 minutes, you get a full charge. The other thing I liked is the app. It is very simple. It's very intuitive. The sleep tracking was pretty cool, fairly accurate from what I understand. And you don't have to do anything. You just go to sleep and it starts doing its thing automatically. HRV, heart rate variability, that was pretty cool. I didn't know about that, so I learned something new. And it actually matched, the diagram matched my snoring and sleep apnea habit. And the biggest highlight of the watch is blood pressure. You literally get the accuracy of having one of these things on your arm and you have it on demand on your wrist. So if you're someone that you struggle with your blood pressure, you constantly need to or want to monitor it, this is definitely could be something cool you can carry with you as your main watch. Hopefully that makes sense. If I missed anything, drop a comment down below. Let me know. I do the best to try to get to all the questions and answer them. Again, link to everything down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.